You are live.
Hello, our beautiful people. Good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you are now or whatever time you're watching. Welcome to Real Men's Talk, where it is season hot, interactive, and transforming. If you're watching live, hashtag live. And if you're watching the replay, remember to hashtag replay. Also, in order for us to be able to see your comments, grant stream your access so that we can see your comments. And also, we want you to share this video, share and tag your friends so that as many parents who are in your network, go ahead and tag them here, send a message to them. They need to learn this. Welcome again to another episode on Real Men's Talk, where it is season hot, interactive, and transforming. On today's episode, we are going to be looking at the topic you and your teenagers. We are going to be looking at how we can understand these amazing young ladies and young men who at some point in our life or at a time in our life presently maybe we are having them in eyes. We want to understand how to handle these young people so that we can be their best friend and model to them and lead them to a glorious destiny. And in the studio, I have my co-hosts who are going to be looking and going to be giving us insights on this topic, you and your teenagers. In the studio, we have Pastor Adegoke.
Good evening, ma, and how are you today?
Hello, Adegoke.
Hello, ma. Good evening.
Excellent. Very well, sir. Good evening, sir. Good to have you again in the studio. We also have in the
Thank
studio
you.
Dr. Femi Samuel.
Good evening, viewers. Happy weekend.
Good evening, Dr. Samuel.
Good evening, ma.
Dr. Samuel, good evening.
Good evening, ma. Good evening.
Good to
Good
have you
evening.
again in the studio. And also on this special edition, you and your teenager, we are having a special guest in the studio with us, Mrs. Omolabake Oluwaleri. Mrs. Omolabake she's an author, she's a family coach and teenagers coach. He is going to give us insights in the topic you and your teenagers. We are glad to have her in the studio. As we dive forward in this topic, you and teenagers, we are going to be looking at, I'm going to start from Dr. Samuel. Who are the teenagers? How do we know the teenagers? Or at what point do we know that our children or our child is now a teenager? Okay, while we are waiting for Dr. Samuel, I think we should go to Pastor Adegoke. Sir, are you here with us?
Yes, ma.
Pastor Adegoke,
Yes, ma.
who are the teenagers? At what point we know that our children are now teenagers?
By definition, is a teenager is someone who is between 13 and 19 years old. A teenager is a lady or is a girl or a boy who is 13 to 19 years old. Hello?
Hello, we can hear you,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Mrs. Oluwale, okay. Go on, sir.
I said a teenager is a person who is between 13 and 19 years of age.
Okay, sir, it's like you wanted to add something else. That was why I paused.
Oh, nothing. No.
Okay. So looking at this people between the age 13 to age 19.
19.
Yes, age 13 to 19. What are the misconceptions about this age group?
We thank God we are once in that group or that age bracket, 13 and 19, or between 13 and 19, is the age at which they tend to be more. They tend to be discover themselves. If so let's assume it's a lady. Those are the period that the futures of a lady comes out, and personally it will embarrass them as a person, but thank God for the parents who are always there for them. You have to sit them down, give them a new orientation about their physical bodies. So I believe we will not leave them alone, but we have to move very, very close to them, because that's the period they can choose bad things and good things concerning their life or their destiny. So the misconception about it is that if you are seeing them as a baby, if you are
yes, we can hear you.
Are you hearing me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Ma or sir?
We can hear you, sir.
If we still
Mrs. Oluwale is
if you see them as a child or as a kid, it's a very, very bad misconception. They are getting old and older and older.
We are talking about you and your teenagers.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Dr. Samuel.
Yes, I'm online.
Can you please tell us a little bit about who the teenagers are?
Just like Pastor Adekoke has said, it's between the ages of 13 and 19. This age group overlap with adolescents. In this age group, they have identity crisis. you are carrying the body of an adult and you are not an adult. So if you look at the most problem that a teenager will come up with has to do with identity crisis. A teenager will believe that he knows he can do everything an adult can do, he has everything an adult has, but doesn't have the experience. He may have the hormones, he may have the muscle, he may have the physique, but he's not an adult in experience. And that age is burdened with, because of the identity crisis, they have what we call, it's the age in which they want to rebel. They believe they know as much as you do, but they don't know that though they may carry the body that you are carrying, but they don't have the experience or the information that you have. So it's an identity crisis between someone having the body of an adult and it's not an adult. So it's a transitional stage between the childhood and the adulthood. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Mrs. Oluwalere, you have a teenagers coach here. Please, can you tell us a little about the teenagers?
Yes. Like, that is about their age. But there is something very particular and specific about teenagers. And it is like Dr. Cameron has rightly said.
It's a little.
He said they wear adult body, but are not yet adults. Something very peculiar with teenagers about their brain connection. How do I mean? We have what we call amygdala. That is the back brain. For teenagers, it is only the amygdala that transforms. And amygdala is a bit of emotion. It's deep with emotion.
Oh, we are having a little challenge with our network. So while we are waiting for Mrs. Oluwalere, because we can figure it out with our network. So I'll go to Dr. Samuel. I don't know if she's coming back. What are the basic challenges faced by the teenagers?
The basic challenges faced by a teenager, if you look at how I explained it initially, you have a man, you have a personality. It's as if you're having two personalities in a single person. He has the BS, he has the muscle, he has the hormone, but he doesn't know what to do with them. At that point, the male hormone or the female hormone is working at the peak, and he doesn't understand how to control them. He has the BS. If you tell a teenager, give a key to a teenager, he will want to drive your car. His level of assessment, his sense of assessment is poor. They take unnecessary risk. They indulge in unnecessary activities. They want to try drugs. They are exploring the world because they are now seeing themselves as if they are grown up, whereas they have a lot of things to learn. They are exploring the world. They can go into drug, illicit drug, go into experiment with sex, join cult. It is at that point you can lure anybody to do anything you want them to do. They are easily manipulated because they don't still know what life is all about. And the problem there is that if you talk to an average teenager, he believes that he knows what he wanted. He believes he has the information. He believes he knows it all. Whereas I was talking to a teenager a few years ago, and I told, you don't know what you want. He got angry. 10 years later, the same guy told me that actually, in retrospect, now he now noticed that what I said there was right. He didn't really know what he wanted about life. And that's that's the problem with teenager. A teenager will tell you that, why can't I fly a plane? He has never flew one before. So they believe that because they have what makes them to feel like a man or a woman, that they know, or that it translates automatically to them being a woman. Because they menstruate, they have female physique, that doesn't make them to be a woman yet. So the identity crisis, they find it difficult to manage it, to know what they really need or want in life. And because of this, if they are not well guided, they delve into things that could mar their life and their future. Thank you.
So much sense. So I'm going to Pastor Adegoke. How do parents understand what do parents do to understand our children? Okay, Mr. Lualere is back. So let me come back to you before I go to Pastor Lualere. The network is interested. It just so tell us about their challenges and the misconception about teenagers. This is only one please, huh? Okay, while we are waiting, we can go to Pastor Adegoke. What should parents do to understand our teenagers?
Like,
Pastor Adegoke.
I'm with you, ma. We have to have a dedicated time for our teenagers, because they are still fragile, and that's the period we are molding them to become what we want them to become. If we are a Christian, those are the periods we must introduce them to God, the real, the true God of Israel, and as a parent, or let's say as a father, there are a lot of things they have to learn from you as an individual. If you're a smoker or you drink a lot, you come home, comes to the house late, they are watching you, and what you are doing, they are going to repeat everything when you are not there. So you as a father or as a mother, you must be very, very careful of what you are doing in their presence, what you say, even the friends you are keeping. They are very, very important as well. So be conscious that somebody is watching you. Excuse me. Somebody is watching you, or somebody is trying to take dressing from you. So on attempt now to make them what you want them to be, you just have to move very, very, very your personality, your emotion, your finances between your teenage children or your teenagers in your household and your wife. So don't just assume they will grow normally. No, it's not possible. Let me just say this way: it's a period you have to prune them, like there's a plant now. You want it to have a straight stem, and unfortunately, it has. So you can make it what you. So those are the things you as a parent must do, to make them what you want them to be. Otherwise, in this world we are now, we've got a lot of things now. Internet is there, YouTube is there. Just name it. As they are learning from you, they are learning from the outside, from the internet. parents, no, this one is okay. Oh, this one is okay. Or this dressing is okay for you as a child of God. This dressing is not for you, it's too worldly. Or when you eat this one, it's going to have negative effect on you. When you do this one, it's going to have bad effect on you. So you have to create time for you.
Thank you, sir. So I'll go to Mrs. Oluwalere. I have loads of questions for you, ma'am. So can we look at that from who a teenager is to what the challenges are and the misconception about them? Mrs. Oluwalere, please, ma'am. If you have some challenges, you can move around because of the network. You can also change your location. You can see the network over there is not so good. Thank you, ma'am.
I have said earlier, the major challenge we have with our teenagers is lack of understanding. We don't understand our teenagers. As parents, we don't understand our teenagers. We don't understand their makeup. We don't understand the way they are wired. We don't understand something about them. Hence, we jump into conclusion to judgment about them. I've heard a lot of things about teenagers, but the most important thing we need to this evening is the fault is your parents. If you don't understand a product, there's this individual concluding that products don't work or not good. That's what is happening with. It's not that they are not working well, it's not that they are not good, it's because we don't understand the way they're supposed to work, don't understand the way they're supposed to work. That's the major challenge we have with them. And what I was trying to time has to do with their makeup. We have the front and the back brain. One don't have both. The front brain is your brain. The back brain just deals with impulses and emotion. Hence, we see our teenagers acting on it because they only have the back brain, they don't have the front brain. They don't have what is giving them break. It's just like you have a car, you don't break anyhow. You don't match your break anyhow. You match break, you match the break. So just take the you don't just
Dr. Samuel, let's continue with you while we wait for Mrs. Oluwalere. So what do parents do to understand the teenagers while we wait for her? What should parents do to understand the teenagers?
Yes, but we need to understand that they act on impulses is because their front brain has not yet been formed. Not until somebody 85, you have the brain. To expect a child that has only the back brain to behave like somebody full brain. Our expectation concerning them is more than what God has put in them at that point in time. We need to know, Jacob said something when Esau met him. When Esau said, okay, let's go, it's time for you. Jacob, the children are young. Don't let me overdrive them. We are living our teenagers. The expectation from them is too much than what put in them for that particular time. We are not patient with them because we don't know them. We don't know that we are patient with them. So we judge them wrong in everything. Just because they have a high height, they are tall, they are fast and you are besides not part, we conclude we assume that you understand better. They act better. No. The capacity God has given to them that is what they are acting pattern. It's what they are acting pattern. They take high risk. Does not stop their risk. Why will David decided to face a lion and a bear because of ghosts? It was nature. If his father will not allow him to take this. That was the best in him. He was ready to take a risk.
Line is gone off again. Dr. Samuel. Dr. Samuel, please.
I'm with you.
Yes, please, can you take us on what we need to do to understand our teenagers?
Hello? Can we, the question again, please?
What we need, parents need to do to understand the teenagers.
What we need
to do to understand the teenager. Sorry, please, 1 minute. This is Oluwale. Can you hear me?
Yes,
can you change your look? Network is very bad there.
Okay, maybe I do that.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Why Dr. Samuel go on this so that you can continue with your why we come back. Dr. Samuel, you can go on, sir.
Thank you very much. To understand someone, what made Jesus Christ a bit different from the other heavenly beings because he was once like us. That's why the Bible says that for we have not an high priest who could not be touched with the feeling of our infirmity. He was in all ways tempted as we are, and yet without sin. Cast your mind back to when you were young. You will notice some of the foolishness in your thoughts. Some things that and you laugh. So to understand the teenager, you must cast your mind back when you were like them. What are the things that infuriate you? What are the things that amuse you? And the same thing with them. Things will not just change like that. Because based on what we've passed through, they are passing through their own identity crisis too. And it will take time for them to come out of it. If you look at it, like for instance, when we are growing up, now this brother that met me, what he said, we were young in the church. The brother now told me that it's as if his body reacts to opposite sex in an undue manner. Then we were young. I was now wondering, what does it mean? You see, if such a person now should be able to understand what a teenager will feel, because it's still the same thing. What are the things that then you feel you want to challenge your parents, you want to challenge the authorities, you want to tell people that you are now grown, you want to tell them you can take decision for yourself, nobody can direct you. And that's how we were thinking those days. And the same thing will not change about teenagers. So for you to understand those teenagers, just cast your mind back to when you were like them. How will you handle that issue? If you can really answer those questions, dealing with them won't be a problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Pastor Adegoke, you're welcome back, sir. So what should parents do and guide our teenagers?
We have to be very, very diplomatic. You have to play along with them. Don't condemn them as a person, but you can condemn the acts or the attitude or the habits. they imbibe, in, the moment you condemn them, they may revolt, you know, against you. They may decide to leave your house, to go and stay with friends, or keep to themselves, all those things they normally share with you. Am I communicating, man?
Yes, sir, please. We can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay. On attempt to make them to be open to you, don't condemn them as a person, but condemn their acts. When I was a small boy, then I was in primary school. I was privileged to live with my grandmother. Each time, he would point to a madman in our village. Then he would tell me, this madman, because he was a popular madman. He said, this man became a lunatic because he was smoking Indian hemp. I was in primary 3, primary 4. To be honest, I never knew what is Indian hemp. He would keep on saying it, keep on saying it, keep on saying it. You know what happened, ma? After I left secondary school, I was, privileged to be enlisted to Nigerian Navy. That's after 20 years thereabout. So I was exposed to illicit drugs. And I still remember those warning and advice. When you smoke Indian hemp, you become a lunatic. I'm telling you, that's what really guided me throughout my naval career. So what we tell them as they are growing up, you may be thinking you are saying for fun. And I bet you it sinks to their very, very heart. So tell them good thing and condemn bad habit. And prayerfully, they will become what God wants them to become in their future. And more importantly, these days, when you tell your son or whatever under your umbrella or your household, they will go to Google and find out maybe what you are saying is correct. So life is things are becoming so hard now to take care of our teenagers. So at the same time, we will not give up anyway. We keep on hammering it, telling them, and I believe good thing and great thing will manifest in their life. Thank you, ma.
Thank you so much, sir. We are going back to Mrs. Oluwale. So can we continue from there? We have loads of things. So you can take your time and take it at a stretch, because I don't want us to miss this. Before the program, I spoke with her and she was able to unleash so many things about teenagers. And these are things that parents need to know about their teenagers. And I don't, oh my God, I don't want this network to deny our amazing parents this understanding about the teenagers. All right, let's keep waiting for her. I'm going to Dr. Samuel now. How should we communicate with our teenagers? Dr. Samuel, please.
Hello? Hello?
You are live, Mrs. Oluwale. Mrs. Oluwale, we can hear you. Pastor Samuel.
Yes. Hello.
Samuel, please. How we can communicate with our teenagers?
In communicating with our teenagers, we must accept the fact that they are growing. They may not have the same level of information that we have, but the truth is that they are going, they are acquiring knowledge. More so in the age of in this computer age where information is available in the air. In dealing with our teenagers, the first thing you must learn that try to deal with them like an adult, because they believe they are an adult and they will appreciate it if you treat them like an adult. Though we know that they are still adolescents, they are not adults, but they will appreciate it so much when you treat them like an adult. Call a teenager, sit down. What you done, do you think is good? Can you reason? I mean, reason with the person. Let the person know that beating or flogging may not be an option in your case, because I expect two of us to reach an agreement, to talk to ourselves and to agree on what we want. So most teenagers, that's where their problem lies. They want to be treated like an adult. They want to be respected. So, and for you to get their attention, to get their loyalty, to get their trust, to gain their trust, you must learn how to treat your teenager like an adult most of the time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, sir. How do you help them channel their energy? Know that they have so much energy. How do you help them energy in the right time? Mrs. Oluwalere.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just take your time and let's go over it now that you're here.
It's okay. Thank
So
you.
any area you'd like to talk about the knowledge of our teenagers, their challenges, why they are misunderstood, misconception, you can go as a stretch and tell us about all those things.
Okay, thank you. So having established that the only thing they are happening, we need to understand how they think. If you are thinking with only one side of you, you know that your thinking can never be whole. So many of our teenagers, all of our teenagers, they can't think the way we think. So that's the first problem we have. When people, parents view life, parents
This network is good today. Pastor Ogike, sir, let's continue with you. How do we help them channel their energy appropriately?
Thank you, ma. You help them
just
to this.
consider theirs. Don't consider their own, the consequence of just what is there in their mind is what they are expecting, not the reality of life. They don't deal with reality of life. They have this expectation, the way they want things to work. So that is the way they interpret life. We interpret life from what we have seen, from what we have experienced as adults, from what they are expecting. That's why a teenager can tell you that he will come down one day. That's his expectation, and he will be thinking and working like that, doing everything in expectation of that. So we should know that they are these people that expect things, that works on expectation. So we deal them carefully, not the way we want to tell. And when you get to nag a teenager, the brain shuts down.
Pastor Ogike, can we continue with you, sir?
Thank you. We also need to understand that this
Pastor
same
Ogike,
teenager,
can we continue with you, sir, until she comes back?
She's back.
When,
that this same teenager, as we are talking about, they are reward seekers. For everything they do, they want reward. They want rewards. When you use bait, it works for them. But you tell them, no, you encourage them, when you do this is what is in it for you. They are this point. to do that thing, to work like that. A typical teenager, the way they behave is the prodigal son in the Bible. That is the way their brain forms.
It's good again.
Yeah, you can continue from there, sir.
What was your question again? I'm sorry.
How do we help them channel their energy appropriately?
Okay, that's fine. We can help them to
That
challenge
until I
their.
go out, that prodigal son, he mounted pressure so much on the father that the father allowed him to have his way. And that's the way they behave. Whatever it is they want to do, they will mount pressure on them. They will want to do everything so that you listen to them and they have their way. Because they don't see danger. Teenagers don't see danger. They don't sense danger. They don't see danger. They don't sense danger. It's adults that analyze and you begin to see those things. You know, the boy, until the boy left the comfort zone and, you know, went out and see for himself, he did.
Pastor Adegoke, can you continue, sir?
Yes, ma. We can help them to discover themselves. What do I mean by that statement? Study them and know their passions. Like those people, the two guys in my house, one loves playing guitar, other one like playing keyboard. I bought both for them. I bought trumpet. At the same time, I called the tallest one in the house. Do you have passion for playing golf? He said no. I didn't bother myself to force it on him. He said he preferred to bike. I got to be bicycle. Are you getting me, ma?
Okay.
So know
Yes,
their hobbies. Thank God both love taking photography. I know, okay, that's fine. I bought 2 cameras for them. I encourage them to know how to edit it at the same time, the video. So all those things, know their passion and push them. Like somebody who loves to swim. You have to take him to the swimming pool and teach him how to swim. So whatever they love to do or like doing, I encourage them to do it. If one is good in science, I encourage him to do science. If the other is good in maybe social or arts, whatever, I encourage him to go into that way. Are you getting me now? Okay, if he is the person who loves to sing, I encourage him to sing. So these are the things we have to do as a parent. Study them, know their passion, know their hobbies, and encourage them and support them physically, financially, and otherwise anything at all to support them. God bless you, man.
Thank you, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, ma. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I was going to continue with you, but it's like Mr. Lua is coming back. Okay, let me go to Pastor. Okay, Mr. Lualere is back. Mr. Lualere, please, can you continue, please? I can see you have changed your location again. It is well.
This is serious. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please, loud and clear.
Okay. So what I'm just trying to say is, for that child, he wanted to have his way, his freedom, and everything. So they judge the parents, every action from the parents, they judge as injustice. Why will you not allow me to go to the club? Why will you not allow me to follow my friends out? Why will you not? So if other parents do that, why will you not? So they judge every of your actions as injustice against them. All they do is to blackmail the parents to agree to their will.
Okay, Dr. Samuel, please. Let's go to how do we guide them on their career path? Should parents interfere or just let them be? Dr. Samuel, sir.
Thank you very much. Because we have the information that they may think they know, but don't actually have that information. So you have to interfere. But your interference may not be total, may not be absolute. They will need a little bit of guidance for them to follow their path. For instance, I didn't like reading, and today I'm a medical doctor because someone forced me into doing the reading. I didn't like reading. Even till now, I don't still like reading.
Yes,
So you have to
13 hours,
mold their life,
they
force them.
repeat the same
Either
thing. They begin to wonder what I have told you yet. They are highly forgetful. We need to be conscious of. So you get on with them like that. Make it a standard. To show them, how to handle things. They are self-conscious because they are now self-conscious because they are when the part body is developing. They believe others are looking at them, so they are conscious. They want to show off. They want to let everyone.
I can't hear her again. Is it me, my side, or any other person could hear her? Dr. Samuel, can you still hear Mrs. Oluwaleri?
not at all, ma. She's not online.
You can go on.
She's back.
So you hear that teenagers are just that is just it. That is just the way they see things. That is just the way they handle things. And we need to understand that their sense of smell is not as mature as that of adults. That's why you get to their room and say this room is smelling. They are saying, "Mommy, what are you talking about? Daddy, what are you saying?" It's not smelling. They don't smell what you are smelling. So these are more the way they are wired. And once you understand that, you need to deal and with them along that line. You need to play along that line. What causes safety to them is not safety. They tell you it's timidity.
Dr. Samuel, you can continue, sir, if she's not.
So, as I was saying, you need to do
How
a
you
little
deal with
bit
them
of
as a parent? What are you supposed to do? You need to be a good listener and a good role model. Listen to them. Listen to them. Stop telling them, shut up. I am your father. I am your mother. I have been in this job before you. I was not talking to my parents like that. It doesn't work like that. Listen to them so that you can understand. Listen to understand, not listen to judge them. We parents, especially African parents, we judge. When we say that listening, you want to judge them very well. Can you hear yourself? See the way you are talking. That is what you want to tell them. That's not what we are talking. You listen to understand them. You listen to understand where their action is coming from. Listen to understand where their motive is coming from. How serve as a good role model. Because if you don't mentor them well, somebody else will mentor them. Their friends are mentoring them. The parents outside they are mentoring them.
Hello. Dr. Samuel, you can continue. And also, Dr. Samuel, please, if it's possible for you to mute me when I'm not talking, please do. I find it difficult to mute myself here, and I discovered the echo is coming from my end. So if I'm not talking, please, you can go ahead and mute me when the speaker is on. Okay. Miss Oluwalere, you are muted. Can you unmute your mic so that we can hear you? Mrs. Oluwalere, unmute your mic so that we can hear you. Oh, she's gone. Dr. Samuel, please go on. And you can mute my mic so that the echo can be reduced or stopped. Thank you.
So as I was trying to say, just if the Bible says a child left to himself will bring shame to the parent. So you cannot just leave your teenagers to take all the decision. You have to be involved in their decision taking. You have to be sure that the decision they are taking is not dangerous and is not inimical to their existence. So I will not advise any parent to stay out of taking decision for their teenagers, in as much as we also respect their decision. But if we can't do things in their own way, let them know why you don't want it to be done that way. Two of you can reason together. I can assure you they will be the best. You people will be the best of friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Mrs. Oluwalere, are you back? You are still unmuted. You are still muted. Please unmute your mic so that we can hear you, ma'am. Okay. So while I hope she's able to come back, I'll go to Pastor Adegoke. Sir, what are your advice for parents that have teenagers so that they can make these teenagers, these young ladies and young men, their friend? It takes you as an adult, as a parent, to be their friend, to be able to get the best out of them. What do parents need to do to be able to befriend their teenagers? Pastor Adegoke, sir.
Can you hear me, ma? Hello?
We didn't hear you, just submitted now.
Hello, can you hear me, ma?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, yes, thank you very much, ma. When you see yourself and your teenagers under you as one entity in the sense that if he fails, you are a failure, then you have to be with them at all time. Like Dr. Femi has rightly, said, if I may quote him, we must not allow them to take some decisions on their own. Definitely, they will ask them when anywhere they find themselves in the nearest future, they will ask them, where are you from? Which family are you from? Which village are you from? All those stuffs. If you don't want those things to bounce back to you, there's some vital decisions in their life you have to be involved, no matter maybe the circumstance. You may discuss it time and over and over and over, but eventually they will reason with you because you have treaded in their path, they are trekking now, So my advice is that don't leave them alone to take, some vital decisions in life, and prayerfully guide them as to what you want them to become in life. Very, very important. And if you have read some books, before, and they are very, very good, and they are trying to, they have molded you, they have shaped you, please recommend those books. Even though messages as well, very, very important. There's some messages I want my children to listen to over and over and over and over, and that goes along. When it sinks down into their inner mind, it goes a long way. The still voice will live with them forever. Very, very important. So don't leave them alone. Number one. Number two, see them, as your project until, like we are building a house, until you part to that house, it's not a completed building. Until they achieve what they want to achieve, I'm telling you, you have not really accomplished your purpose over them. God bless you, ma.
Thank you so much, sir. That's profound. We are going back to Mrs. Oluwalere. Okay.
She's
So I'll
gone
go
again.
to Dr. Samuel. Yes, I'll go to Dr. Samuel. You can see now, in fact, we were doing some analysis some time ago, and we now discovered that when you look at most extended family, you find at least a teenager that is into the so-called internet fraud or courtesan. So the spread and the influence, that negative influence of young people involving in negative attitude, negative habits, joining band group, it's now common. How do we prevent this? Dr. Samuel?
Thank you very much.
Or should we continue with Mrs. Oluwalere now there? Let's continue with her. So when she go off, you can address that question for us. Ms. Oluwalere, please can you continue?
It's okay. Thank you. I had the question about joining courtesan and
No, just go on with your flow. She's gone. Okay, Pastor Samuel can Dr. Samuel, please continue.
The issue of these social biases you are talking about, courtesan and internet fraud. Well, I was in their stage a few years ago. I was also a young man. I'm also a young man. I was in their stage a few years ago, and the truth about it is that I feel that most of our youth,
they will form friends that will lead them astray. And that's why I'm saying parents must be very, very careful when it comes to handling teenagers. One of my daughters came for one day and said, "Mommy, there is a person in my school that the person said my daddy does not see anything good about me. That he always says something wrong about me." He said, the guy said, "I don't even care about my father. I know I don't have a father." So such a child is prone to fall into the life of those people that lead him to courtesan. Just because the father, to understand him, why he's behaving to him.
Dr. Samuel.
Yes, about the internet fraud and courtesan. I think most of the time, either directly or indirectly, they have support from the parent. If you are doing something and you know your parent will not support you, it is very unlikely you want to continue. Because I know that
we don't like
most people that they're not getting support,
the parents want to continue. When they were doing that for us, we don't have access to information. These children, they have better information than us, and they are acting on it. They are acting it, and then they are acting on it. So we need to understand. We need to understand that we cannot treat them that way. It is not possible for us to treat them. That we should communicate with them. We should show them. We should need to understand why we are making every decision we make in their life. Like I was discussing, I said, why will a child go and study me? Why? Because the parents refuse to know what is inside that child. They wanted to use that child as their extension. They were living their life inside that child. They wanted to be the father of a daughter, not teenagers. You know, when he came back, he just said, "This is what I want us to understand spirit nowadays. We need to work with these children, you know, communicate with them, show them love, not in our time. Showing love shouldn't be in our own time, it should be in the time of those children. If you buy gift for somebody that does not need your gift, instead of talking to that somebody, that you are not showing love. So you should know what they want. and show them love so that they can be secured in their homes. When they are secured in their home, they will not join secret cult. They will not misbehave outside. If they know that the parents understand them, they wouldn't be looking for approval outside. We need to understand this, and we need to, we need to do that at all times. It's a typical example in the Bible, in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 8, verse 19 to 30. The story between Joab and Ahimaaz. I consider Ahimaaz as a teenager when Absalom was killed by Joab, and they had to go and relay the message to David. Ahimaaz said, "Let me go." Joab, the parental guardian, said, "No, you are not going." Ahimaaz said, "Let me."
Samuel.
There is something inside our teenagers that are looking for expression.
Samuel.
We need to help them to run it. We need to be there with it. As him, Joab, he persuaded Ahimaaz not to do that. He called somebody else to go and do the bit. But Ahimaaz insisted that I want to go. This is where I'm going. The parental guidance has been there. But Joab did not believe it, that Ahimaaz has learned. When he got, he outran the first person that Joab sent. When Ahimaaz got to King David, he didn't deliver the message the way Joab thought he would deliver the message. He said the battle was okay, everybody fine. The king asked, he said, "How about Absalom?" To my surprise, Ahimaaz said, "Sir, live long, the king." He said there was commotion. Simple instruction, simple acts. People asked by Joab that he shouldn't say what he saw. He shouldn't say what happened. So this is where I'm going. Not until we nag before we think that they have heard of. No. Once you pass the information, like Pastor Adeko said, he said the still small voice. It has been set into action. And through it, God will help them to understand, to take to, and to do what is right. And that's what I want to say. We should trust God as we pray for them and do everything. We should trust God to handle their life for us. We should trust God to handle their life for us. We should.
Can we continue with you, Dr. Samuel?
Very costly.
So that we can wind up.
Ignorance is very costly. As parents, we must be enlightened. We must be knowledgeable about how to handle our teenagers. And as you do that, God will help us. Until you become the right parent, you get the right teenager. I want to leave us with that. Until you become the right parent, you can't get the right child. The right parent is not being a Christian. It is you knowing what to do, how to direct that child. The first instruction God gave to Manoah's wife was the woman herself should know what to do, should know how to do things, so that that child can turn out right. Until parents know what to do, the parents become the right parents, we can get the right teenagers. It is not the way they have related to know. It is knowing the mind of God, knowing.
Thank you very much. I was saying before now that the internet fraud, the courtesan, most of the internet fraud is now an acceptable practice in our society. Parent request for money from proceed of the internet fraud. So it's well accepted by the society. And because of this, most people they are not seeing anything wrong in the internet fraud. Maybe because of the poor economic situation of the country. Things has gone so bad that I've seen parents that take their children to go and learn about internet for it's disheartening. Not minding the outcome of it, not minding what the aftermath will be. So far, you get money so quick. And this syndrome of get rich quick is making people to do things that they wouldn't have done ordinary. As parents, we should just be careful. Know that if we cannot improve on the name, the legacy that was handed
Hello.
over to us, we should not destroy what was given to us.
Thank you, sir. You can continue, Mrs. Oluwalere now. Go on, ma. She is not here again. Well, we are running off. So I'm going to take your final word to parents or to adults in our dealing with teenagers. Dr. Samuel, what's your final word for parents who have teenagers and adults
Parents
in our dealing
who have teenagers should know that those teenagers, they are the future of the parent. And you are not a success until your successor have succeeded. So you must pay more attention to them, give it what it takes in prayer, in action, in encouragement, so that those your successor can succeed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mrs. Oluwalere. Hello, can she hear me? Mrs. Oluwalere. Mrs. Oluwalere. Well, she is now. I wanted her to give us our final word on this so that we can close on this episode. Okay. Ma, we want you in summary, your words for parents on our dealing with teenagers and adults. How do we deal with teenagers? That's the final word. Sir, can you hear me? Mrs. Oluwalere, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, please go on.
Hello, ma.
Your final word to parents and
You are still online, man.
Mr. Oluwalere, you're on.
Jesus.
Right. So I think on this note, we are going to call it a day on the episode, Your Teenagers. And we have been able to look at about teenagers today. We have been told that it is at this stage to discover themselves. It's a period of identity crisis. Adults, but they do not have the experience of adults. It's a transition period for them. And sometimes they take unnecessary. They want to explore, they want to experience, experiment things. So this stage is said to be a molding stage for them. It's a period for them. The parents need to age for them. So we should not condemn them, but we should condemn their bad habits so that they can listen to us. They believe they are adults, so they will appreciate when we address them and treat them as adults, even though we know that they are not full-grown adults. So, and at the same time, we are told that we should not leave them alone to take decisions for themselves. We need to guide them and lead them. And I pray that God will give us the wisdom, understanding that we need to guide us young ones going into adulthood in their ways so that they don't go astray. And we, as parents and as model, we should be good models to these ones so that they can look up to us. On this note, I want to say thank you for watching. Please tag Ripley. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put it on the comments section so that any of our hosts can come online and attend to that question. So thank you once again for having you. This is Oluwalere. It's a pity the network didn't do us well today. We had so much, we discussed so much backstage then before we come up. But thank you for being here. Mrs. Oluwalere has a group of, what's the name of the group? The teenage group on Facebook, man.
Yes, unique teens. We have unique teens on Facebook.
Okay. She has a group, it's Unique Teens, where she guides and leads young adults in the way of God. So on this note, we want to say goodbye and see you next week till we come your way again. Remember that they are your friends. Treat them as adults as they want to be treated as adults. Till we come your way again. Bye for now and see you next week on another episode of Real Men's Talk, where it is sizzling hot, interactive, and transforming. And bye for now. Dr. Samuel Oluwalere.